welcome to You the Boss podcast, episode 1. I'm your host, Pam. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe. So let's get right into it. What is You the Boss podcast? You the Boss podcast is, just a way for you to, whether it's a situation, career, personal life, just for you to kind of know that you can handle it and get into it, and you could be the authority. You can be the boss in that area. So Pam is a human being. I'm definitely not alien. At least not in full.
Lies.
I'm gonna say a couple of things that are gonna be like, okay, but who is she? So I'm a daughter. That's one of the first things that comes up to mind because I was born into a much older family. My parents were much older, and I feel like that's shaped a lot of who I am. So I've kind of grown into being a caregiver since I was very young because my dad had diabetes by the time I was like 11. At this point now, I'm 30. I'm not shy of that, so you'll probably always hear me quote my age. At this point, my mom has had a stroke. I've been a caregiver to her. One of my brothers has me as his beneficiary because he doesn't have any children. So that kind of plays into who I am in people's lives. And I don't like to say the phrase like, oh, I like to fix people, because people are not broken. But if you're ever in a moment of chaos, like you got into a fight with your significant other and they kicked you out, or you got in a car accident, or you got fired at your job, I'd like to think that I'm the first person I want to call, because when I'm in chaos, I'm immediately like, okay, let's do this. Let's go that. So I'm like a caregiver. Believe it or not, like I can't always focus. But again, in chaos, I'm very like structured, and I'm very like, okay, like we got to handle this. I'm determined. I love to eat. So, which means I like to cook. I just don't like to clean up after. But you got to do what you got to do. And really like one of my favorite things to do is sit in silence. I really like to reflect, and again, just kind of going back to that caregiving and kind of, I guess you could say, relishing in chaos. That's why I like to sit in quiet, because sometimes when things are still, some of the best things come to me. And if there's anything that I want anyone that is listening to know is that I hope you have a Pam in your life, because I'm really loyal, and I'm ready to like go if you need me. If you need me to drive the getaway car, I'm not saying I'd do it, but I'm saying I would. I'm not saying I wouldn't do it either. So the last few days I've been working. I'm working from home right now. My routine has been get up, get at least kind of presentable. Because even though I'm not seeing anyone, I'm not going anywhere. It just kind of helps me feel good to be like ready for work. So I've been working. I've been doing some reading. Right now I'm reading a book by Jim Stovall called The Art of Learning and Self-Development. So I've been like dipping into that and just listening to some positive motivational stuff, kind of because like there hasn't been as much sunshine. So I'm trying to keep my brain like happy and determined. So that's been, since the beginning of November, I've kind of been really like dabbling in that. And just kind of getting ready for the holidays and the next couple of months, and like little projects that I want to do around my apartment. So yeah, oh my god, that's crazy. It's funny, right? Because earlier this year I had 2 jobs. I was working 3 weeks straight at a time, and then COVID, it's been a lot of fun. And then I lost my full-time job, which qualified me for unemployment and those different benefits. And then I started doing stuff with being behind the scenes of something, and then just really enjoying the summer, and now starting a podcast. And I'm like, not what I thought I would be doing in January, but I'm not complaining. Yeah, no. And also, like, I want to go on record and say, I know one of the things that inspired me for like the You the Boss podcast is definitely like, everyone has been like 2020 has been this and 2020 has been that, and like I've lost family members, I lost a job, I had to restructure my finances. Like there's been many things that I promise you, I've seen some stuff in the last 8 months. But it's all about how you're kind of going to respond to that. Again, my mom had a stroke 2 years ago, and COVID has been really hard because she went back to being more independent at home, and then it's been hard for her. But again, you're the boss of that. Like, you handle that. You have time to grieve, and then you gotta be the boss. You gotta handle it. So, well, some of my goals is to kind of like, yes, talk about different topics, but also kind of bring forth to people kind of the energy of like, you might want to do something and feel like maybe, oh yeah, but I don't have what you have, or I don't have what that person has to be able to be like them. So one of my goals is to kind of make it like you're the boss. Like you don't have to be like someone else to be the boss of something. You can bring your own creativity into this world and make this thing yours. Like there's people on Instagram who have made a life out of like redesigning their homes. I'm like, I couldn't do that, but I love to do DIY projects. Like, I'm a boss at DIY projects. That's my thing. But I'm not going to make my Instagram out of it because I don't feel, in that way, I don't feel like that's my thing. So I want people to be able to feel like if you're passionate about something, like you're the boss there. You don't have to be like someone else. You can just kind of own like where you are. So a boss is someone who owns where they are. I know that a lot of people like they'll use the word bossy, or boss is like someone who is like the manager or the head of a company or something like that. But to me, a boss is just someone who like has authority over whether it be certain things or like this one thing. So if for you, your passion is to be a dancer and you want to be a teacher specifically in dance, you're a boss. You're a boss teacher. You're a boss dancer. If you want to direct movies, you want to make episodes, you want to put real life situations into light, like you're a boss in this particular situation. So again, the definition to me is kind of like you own, or you're a master, or at least an aspiring master in this particular field or thing. For me, I know that like everyone has a different dream kind of a thing. And even as a kid, my dream has always been like, I have a schedule. I do like to be organized. But being an entrepreneur is important because I'm not depending on someone else to get paid. But also, like, if I outwork you, I out-earn you. And that to me is important because when you're in an office, sometimes somebody works less than you and they make the same money. And even very early on in college, I'm like, that's not what I want. I want to be able to have a limitless kind of potential and income. And so entrepreneurship has always been the shiny part for me. I have been an entrepreneur, I guess officially, almost 10 years. But I watched my mom do different things. Like to keep money coming around because she was a stay-at-home mom with me. So she would, buy stuff and resell it, whether it was like new or slightly used. And so then I started selling toys to my like neighborhood kids when I was younger, or I would like sell the household items, like stuff like that. And I was selling dirt to kids basically. Like it was and I was getting rocks as money. Like that was my aspiration in entrepreneurship. But officially, I guess as an adult, it's been like 10 years. First things first, I would recommend for them to basically take a deep dive in all things about what they're trying to be or who they're trying to be. So if you have a goal in your life that you want to be a financially stable stay-at-home mom, join some Facebook groups, find some Instagram. Even if you can't directly link with these people, immerse yourself in that. Make it like what you eat, breathe, sleep, whatever. Surround yourself completely. The second I guess this kind of goes into that too. Like, have pictures of that stuff. Talk about it all the time with people around you. I know that sounds intimidating because you're like, well, my friends they're not into that, or that's not what they think. Number one, that's going to help you eliminate any like naysayers, which I guess you could say is number two of the three things. So immerse yourself, like totally flood your life with who it is that you want to be or what it is that you want to do. Number two, be careful about your energy and who you share things with, because sometimes our loved ones mean well, but they don't know any better. And we have to learn the difference in like holding it against them and just holding ourselves accountable to know that they don't know any better. And number three, master your craft. Work on yourself all the time. Part of immersing yourself in something is learning that sometimes you have destructive habits that are keeping you from where you want to be. So you have to constantly keep learning. So again, to reiterate, the three is one, immerse yourself in it. See it everywhere, feel it everywhere, talk about it all the time. Number two, be careful who you share what with. And number three is never stop learning. Well, I mean, I'm going through that all the time now as an entrepreneur. There's a lot of, like, I'm a part of a network marketing company as an entrepreneur, but a lot of my individual ideas are like my own. They have nothing to do with that network marketing company. But some of the challenges is like kind of comparing myself with others, where I'm like, well, I'm not doing things the way they are, or like I'm different, you know, I'm a Spanish girl, or like I didn't come from a single parent household. Like I did have both of my parents, and like, you know, I have some siblings, but like there are relationships in my friendships that are stronger than some of my relationships with my siblings. Like I struggle with that part of comparing myself to others, but also realizing that my power is mine. Like my bossiness or my level of being a boss is not comparable to anyone else's, and vice versa. And that's something that I guess you say I struggle with, but I have to keep reminding myself of, like, I'm the boss here. Like I handle this. This is mine. Like I have control of this. I want to say the pink one, but I think it was also Tommy because he was like a white ranger and the green ranger. So, but I think it was just because he was good to look at.
That's what Maya's gonna pop out into the
I'm still a woman. Like I was a little girl when these things were happening. Like, so yeah, just to kind of close things off, you can find me on Instagram, Boss Lady Pujols. That's Pujols. On Instagram. And one thing I want to kind of leave everyone with, and I want to touch on this next week, just to kind of think about it. Just kind of a different time. Like, what's something good that you've found in this time to fight something bad? It's been a crazy year. But what has been something good that came out? There has to be one good thing. So I kind of want to touch on some of those for next week. Bye. See you next week.